All right, guys, we're in Kirby, Texas. There's a special meeting tonight, amongst other things, to discuss a matter regarding the city manager, Dr. Rowland. And on a side note, just a few days ago, he was sued when he was mayor in Prarie View, Texas. Apparently, a cop there is suing him and other officials there, but alleging that he was the ringleader in a whole tirade of mistreatment employees. We're talking retaliation, intimidation. He brought on a friend as police chief, and that friend told the cop's mother to shut up or else. And then they fired the cop after criticizing Dr. Rowland while he was mayor in Prarie View, and that's our city manager now. So the big question is he doing the same thing here? Because that's what I'm hearing. And I don't know though, can't confirm that, but people talk in this city, you know, and that's what I'm hearing. So this meeting ought to be interesting. Dr. Rowland will be sitting to the left. He's an African-American gentleman. I think he has a doctorate degree in theater or pornography or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, stay tuned.
No, I need
Hey, what's up? What's up, baby? Good. Cool. Glad you're here.
Just wanted to give you a stamp. Do you have your studio on it?
Yeah, so it's there, but I can't change. It sucks, man. So I should be able to pull it up on YouTube Studio. It does not have it. I don't know why. We're on content. Yeah. I don't know, bro. But it is around. Stream health is good. Stream health is good. Yeah, so in case y'all didn't hear, this is a special meeting tonight. They'll be discussing, I think, something about the city manager. It's a special meeting called by 3 council people, and they'll be discussing the city manager. I'm not sure what they're going to be discussing, but I can tell you he was sued about a week ago for when he was mayor in Prarie View, alleging some mistreatment there, some severe mistreatment. He's being sued by a police officer, nonetheless. So I'm just curious about what's going on there. Haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, but we will eventually. And then our star of the show, back behind me, not Patrick, but the lady in the hot pink shirt. Get out of the way, Patrick. the lady in the hot pink shirt making $210 an hour to sit there and
I don't know how you play.
who knows what. Anyway. I'm curious how far I can go.
There's no comment.
We do have a packed house tonight. Packed house. There's going to be a lot of, from from what I take it, there's going to be a few people up here talking at the podium, and it's going to be fairly contentious. I think there's a lot of criticism coming. There's a lot of criticism coming towards the city manager and the council. So stay tuned.
Order at 7:10 on August 31st, Thursday, 2023. Please rise for the invocation and pledge. The invocation was provided by Mr. Rich. Thank you. You can step at the podium, sir. Please, so everybody can hear you if you don't mind.
I think you can hear me very well. Thank you. Father, we thank you for this evening, for this time to fellowship together, to bring favor to all that we do today. Father God, we just exalt you and worship you and give you glory. That all that we do tonight will glorify you. And we thank you, Father, for being here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mission statement. The city of Kirby is dedicated to delivering excellent municipal services to our community in a fiscally responsible manner. City Secretary, please call roll.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca.
Here.
Councilmember Garza.
Here.
Councilmember Hitt.
Here.
Councilmember Lozano.
Here.
Councilmember Martin.
Here.
Councilmember Molina. Mayor Gregg.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to citizen participation, number 5. First, we have Edward Zahena.
Ms. Capeman, if I could have a bit more time, because I have 3 pages to read to City Council.
Y'all let me know if y'all can hear him talking or not.
We'll start the clock at 5 minutes. And then
1's for yes, 2's for no.
we can start.
Good evening, Council and City Manager. My name is Edward Tejeda. I'm currently a police dispatcher for the City of Kirby. I've been employed for approximately 2 years. I, like many police employees, pay attention to your actions and the actions of the City Manager. We watch you online and we also watch you in person. To say the least, we pay attention and we listen. I'm astounded here in the last City Council meeting that 4 of you voted to change our current insurance. Not once did the City Manager ask the employees' input over this change that was taking place. Not once did city members ask for the input of the employees. Majority of the City Council members here got seats off the backs of very tired and undervalued employees during the last election. But the lack of outreach is disappointing, to say the least. On the insurance, there's a required baseline visit for the first 120 days. The meeting is required to be on Zoom, and they strongly recommend that you have a camera so they can see you. But if employees do not have the Zoom or capability of a camera, you have to drive to Austin to to do this in person. That's you, your wife, and your children. That's a total inconvenience for the employees. The new insurance does not have employee wellness. For example, if you're diabetic, Blue Cross and Blue Shield provides a free monitor, free test strips, and free lancets at no extra cost. They also give an employee a free blood pressure machine, again at no extra cost. They also send you weekly results to check your glucose level and blood pressure that you can take to your physician. Also, this new insurance only provides a 30-day supply of medication. Blue Cross Blue Shield provides a 90-day supply, which means if we have to visit our doctor or go to the pharmacy every 30 days to get our medication. Also, I found out that employees can be charged up to $250 for specialty insurance, for specialty medication, excuse me. Blue Cross does not have that. The insurance also does not provide vision or dental insurance. And did anyone ask if this affected our vision and dental? Did the city manager ask if this affected our dental? The concern was if this is only a medical insurance change, then why isn't our city employees and committee these things? So about our health benefits. Very concerned about health benefits. First part is no doctors that I have. I spoke to other employees. Their doctors are not on the insurance either. For first responders, it's difficult as it is for us to admit we need help. Or emotionally. Some of us have built our relationships with our doctors for over 15 years, and now the council and city manager are asking the employees to find a new doctor, someone who doesn't understand our bodies, our mental health, or our needs. And he chooses because of a 4% difference. Part of the city manager to speak on behalf of the city employees. This insurance is not benefiting us whatsoever. It brings more obstacles and inconvenience, less benefits. I also found that for simple officers are no longer the city manager, chief of police, or the city manager to you about before making a proposed budget. So the manager proposed a simple 2 raise for all employees. That's going to be a 30-cent increase. But yet he added $25,000 for a Kirby dollar program. He also decreased the police department overtime, which we skyrocketed through this year because of lack of manpower. Sounds to me this city manager wants to defund the police for his political aspirations.
Sir, so if y'all, if you wanted more time, y'all want to give more time?
I made a motion.
Okay, we don't have to make a motion. Go ahead, sir. Start the clock again.
Thank you very much. Some of the city council members even attempted to speak out for the police department during the last city council meeting, reflecting in reference to the budget. But what I observed was the city manager shutting down the conversation. He did not allow the people to speak. Our rules and laws are pretty clear. It is responsibility for everyone here to support this overworked and undervalued employee staff. And if the city manager does not have our interests in mind, then I would ask him to pack his bags and leave this city. We do not need a city manager that's taking us backwards. We need someone to move forward. If he does not have our backs, he needs to resign immediately. We are losing dispatchers and officers at an alarming rate. We are tired, exhausted, and yet the demand is higher than ever for what you expect from us. We stay here because we have good leadership above us, and our chief needs your support. Our police department needs a minimum rate of $21 an hour for the officers. If you want to keep well-trained officers, and you're going to continue wasting funds with this high turnover. I thank you for your time.
We have Patricia Mann, you just want to wait to talk about the budget or now?
No, I'll just go now,
Okay,
since we're on the subject.
okay.
Hi, Madam Mayor, City Council members. My name is Patricia Mann, 5518 Harris. And I want to thank you all for the great job you're doing. I'm happy to see that everybody's working together. And I know you're going to do a good job on this budget coming up. But I am here to advocate for the police. I know there's rumors about how much we pay the police, but I did see in the budget, less money. I need you guys to really look at that because the citizens, I'm sure I'm not the only one, really want our police force to be the best paid that we can feasibly pay them. I hope we can take a look at that and make sure that we give them the money they deserve. In addition, I saw the overtime budget was cut. Now, I know there's a lot of plans for a lot of functions coming up. That means overtime. If we lose somebody, that means overtime. So just keep that in mind because we're going to need overtime for those functions. Fiesta, our functions that we have on the crime board, etc. Just keep in mind that we want to keep these people that we have working for us. They take care of us. We want to take care of them. The citizens want to take care of them. So we need to cut from some other place and make sure that we do a good job and compensating them for the great job they do for us. Thank you.
Jackie Nguyen.
Good evening. I am here to talk about the last council meeting, August 24th. I was not happy at all, and I'm sure some of you, probably all of you, saw my post that I put on the Kirby community Facebook page. When I attended that city council meeting, I'm talking about the regular council meeting, about 25 minutes into the meeting, the city manager on a fax. And at that point, she found herself I therefore walked up to the city manager and I asked him, maybe you could say something about why you were all masking up. He looked at me like I was nothing. And he didn't comment at all. I stayed at that meeting on August 24th until 10:15, and nothing was said about why you were all masking up. I believe in my heart that you all should have had the decency and the courtesy to say something to the audience. These are the people that voted you in. These are the people that voted. I totally believe very strongly that there is one use saying what we're putting in because we have served this voted somebody along with it, and I feel that you owe it to us.
Thank you. Next we have Debbie Walvick.
Debbie, want to start fire? We'll start with the city manager. Very seldom is he in this office. People walk in that door to speak to him. He's not. You're likely to touch him. Maybe the last hour of the day. The first couple of weeks, he only worked 8 hours a week. A city manager is right, and they look to look at all. I manager to so many meetings or do so many things on time that not be here to this council members, business associates. He's not doing it. That's bottom line. That's not what a city manager does. Also, I noticed that at council meetings, at the last minute, he's passing out things. Not at the last minute. You have a piece of paper in your hand, you're supposed to make a decision. That should come in your packets, and they should be prepared. This is nobody's fault. Nobody's fault. It all lies on his shoulders. And if he is incapable of taking that, then he needs to move on. Now that's a bottom line. You are all being blamed. Our staff is being blamed. They did nothing but their best. All fall on him. Sorry, but that's the truth. As far as budget goes, did you consider the fact that our systems are getting ready to crash, and that is supposed to be somewhere around October or November? That must go in the budget to be fixed. We did not here, if you recall. That's going to be a major problem for the city. They're hit the ground. So we need to take a good look at what needs to be repaired within our systems. It's attached to the police, the fire department, city. We got to look at that. We have several machines getting crashed. As far as animal control goes, animal control's money, as much money as they pay out to fix an animal, they get none of their money back. It all goes back into the general. It needs to go back to animal control so they can consider doing more business. They run out of money. It's like, oh, too bad. Well, all their money went to the general fund. The building's falling apart. And have you not taken a tour? I suggest you get over there and see what's going on. It says it's going to be fixed, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Because money is going back in the general fund so they can on something else. To say that your so-called raise to our police department is a sheer, undoubted slap in the face. That's the bottom line. We can't get these officers in here. They deserve what they deserve. And you better make way and maybe take less trips, and that'll happen. You want training? Bring the trainers in. Don't travel all over the place.
That's ridiculous. $1,300 to go to Fort Sam, when it could have been held right here. $1,300 wasted. Wasted. Keep these things in line, and we won't have a police department. And that falls on you, and you alone. Not them.
Next, we have Jeff Unklin.
Is that the guy outside?
No, that's got the shirt up there. That's me.
Guy in the shirt?
Did you want to wait, or?
I'll wait.
Okay. All right, next we have Mike Grant.
How are you folks? Mike Grant, 218 Venezuela Road, Kirby. Clowncil, City Manager, Mayor. Two things. First thing is, I brought this all to y'all. Seems like nepotism is really a word that's being kicked around. I quite understand that some people have contacted TML. If you folks will look at the cover page, this was generated by TML Assistant General Counsel. Okay? This is everything, every question you can ask about nepotism. But let me read just one I think is most important to y'all. Question: may a close relative be appointed to an unpaid position? Yes. The nepotism law applies to paid positions only, as I explained this the last time I was here. The paid position is one that's directly or indirectly compensated for public funds or fees. And you can look that up under Texas 573.041, Texas Attorney General. If the individual holding the position is merely reimbursed for actual expenses, it is not a paid position. We all understand that. It's right here, all the things that have been said, this is from TML. It's not hearsay, it's not secondary, it is first page, first out. Okay? So the person you turned down last week, or the last meeting, y'all did wrong. Okay? Right here. Everybody's got it. So, I mean, that's what I got to say for that. The second thing is, I started as an officer out here in 1975. $7.25 an hour. Okay? We work 10 12-hour shifts. I now hold a Master Peace Officer certification. I also am a certified field training officer. I can't tell you how many hours I have, and just finished my 2 years of in-service schooling at APOP. The sad thing is, I know a lot of history about here, and Mr. Miller didn't. When we first started, there was a one position, one car patrol for 52 square miles, 52 road miles, 2.5 square miles. Okay? And you were by yourself, and that's the way life was. Probably about after maybe like 70, I'm thinking 77, 78, we finally went to 2-man patrols, and we finally convinced the council to buy 2 cars. Before that, we had a car that was 6 years old, but had 277,000 miles on it. Unfortunately, in the last 50 years, we've not addressed one item. Not that much. We are the biggest training center, aside from SAPD, ACOG, and SAC, for police officers to hit the street. Okay? And it's ridiculous. And this is really going to make a couple of really angry with me, but I'm going to tell you all folks straight up. $240,000 would raise a lot of police pay. $240,000 would have saved a lot of policemen. But no, you've got a little toy sitting over there that does one thing and one thing only. And the only reason that Kazan is going to last longer than over here, which is already cracking up, is because we had people come in that knew how to pay. They knew what to do. They knew how to lay it down. The reason it's cracking over here is when you have a 6-inch pothole, you don't cut the street just 2 inches down like they did. You cut to the bottom of the pothole, so that when you lay everything down, you let a smooth surface. That's on case it will last. This is not gonna last. If you look at the little, now you wanna talk about money? 4 hours and $22,000 for the little patch over there in the park. Go look at it. That they trained our guys on, that are gone. They're gone. You don't have anybody to run the machine. You don't have the backup equipment to run the machine. Okay? So what are you doing with it? $24,000. And where did I get that? The cost of the machine, $3,000 to do the paperwork. My God, you could buy 15 cars. I've gone there, the title thing to buy a car is about $250. I have it in writing, in paper, $3,000 in attorney's fees to draw up the contract for that piece of stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Patrick White.
What? Huh? You wanna go first?
Oh, man. Good evening, good evening, good evening. We got a lot to cover because somehow, and I don't mind at all, I became the voice for the voiceless here in Kirby, whether it's employees who fear retaliation or citizens who think y'all don't give a damn. So let's get to it. I appreciate that some of y'all on council are starting to get your own voice. And this is concerns and statements that are coming from citizens to me, to y'all now. Okay? They appreciate some of y'all making the steps, taking the steps to go forward. There's a couple of council members that they're concerned about that just sit there. And I'll say their names because I don't care. Ms. Apodaca, they say you don't engage or bring anything to the table except a yes vote for the mayor. Sally Hitt, they said the same thing about you. You don't bring nothing but a yes vote, and they're concerned maybe it's too many Jaeger bombs before the meeting. I don't know. I'm just mentioning what I hear. Mr. Martin, no complaints about you. Mr. Garza, you know it's always gotta be one in there that's gotta say something that's got nothing to do with city business. Ms. Lozano, proud of you, thank you. If Mr. Molina was here, I'd like to say thank you to him. Mayor Grada, I know you're trying your hardest and it's been a shit show since day one. Okay, now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty. Gentleman over here calls himself Dr. Brian Rowland. Former mayor, 11th mayor, he's probably put that part on there, 11th mayor of Prarie View, Texas. From New York, moved to Killeen. From Killeen, went to Prarie View to go to A&M, where he got his, I think his MBA, I think his PhD, I don't know. He's more of a nurse practitioner to me, but that's my thoughts. Now, doing some digging because he pissed me off back in June. On the 13th, y'all had a special meeting in the middle of the day. On his way out, we were talking for a few seconds, and he was like, oh, I gotta go, I got a funeral to be at tomorrow. This man was in Corpus Christi as a guest speaker at a convention, not at a funeral. You lied to me. When I feel disrespected, I get disrespectful. So I did some digging. This man right now has a lawsuit filed against him. Federal court lawsuit. I'll let Mr. Miller get in that because there's only one person that can tell the story with how it needs to be told, and that is Mr. Miller. But this guy right here, I'm gonna start doing some local digging on you and find out where our city dollars are going when you're never here. Never. I've been by here. Never here. I've seen other people here who should be in their departments taking care of stuff, but they gotta be here for some reason. You're not that special. If you were that good, you would have been the city manager in Prarie View, because right now they have an interim as well. But no, you didn't get reelected. You knew shit was coming to the light, and you tucktailed and ran. And luckily, you swooped in here somehow. But I'm gonna pull everything. I wanna know when's the last time you paid child support for your 16-year-old son. Yes, I told you, you pissed me off, I'm gonna do my digging. So, that being said, council, I beg of you, if there's a way to get out of a contract with this man, get out of it. Send him on his way. All these officers, the fire department, animal control, they need our help. He's not doing it. He's here, this is a political stop for him. He's got aspirations to be some kind of, state representative. I represent the whole east coast of Texas, blah, blah, blah. No. If you look at any of his profiles, he doesn't mention Kirby because he doesn't give a damn about us. He's here for the paycheck. Part-time, full-time money. If we find a way to bring Monique back, I wish we would.
1 minute.
I wish we would.
1 minute.
If we gotta pay her $150,000 just to get her here, let's do it. She ran this city and she was very transparent. Had no problem answering any question from anybody. Never ran it. Never had to have 42 executive sessions in the first 3 months that you're here. It's crap. It's crap. And then you tuck tail, and sadly, and Mayor, no disrespect, because you know I love you, but he's got you blinded. You got the cart before the horse and a blind man driving it. We're on a crash course. This we're gonna sink. I'm telling you, we're gonna sink. There's gonna be a mass exit of city employees because of that right there.
10 seconds.
He needs to get up. Don't even say a word. Don't even say bye. Just get your shit and go. You still got down there. Hey, go. No.
Next we have Jack.
Jack 4839 Gordon. If somebody comes in here tonight to kill somebody, like runs through that front door, because I'm mad at one of you guys, this is an extra knife I got. You can grab it and defend yourselves. Anybody can grab it and defend themselves. And I got another that you can have. I'll throw it at you. I'll throw it to you and you can open it up to defend yourselves.
Don't throw that.
I'll throw it at you so you open it up.
We need to fold the chairs.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but you carry a knife in here, and you guys are powerless to stop anybody from doing that. Texas law specifically makes any action you take or the police take to keep a knife out of here void. That means if you take action, you're not dealing with any kind of official authority. Check with the $210 an hour queen over here about how that works. But you keep guns out of here. A knife and a gun, just as deadly as the other. Ask your police. They can shoot you if you're less than 25 feet away from them and you start going at them. They can put bullets in you. Because that knife is deadly, that deadly. But I can load this place up with knives. The guards' threat level 3A vest that'll stop pretty much any bullet except for a rifle will not stop that knife. And it's a proven fact that if I were to run from, say about middle here, and start charging at one of you with a knife, and you have a gun, a 9mm like I carry, I will deliver fatal stabs to you. It's not like in the movies. I don't fall when you shoot. My point is that there's knives in here. I've carried a knife in here every single meeting I've ever come to, most of the time without anybody knowing, because I like to show how the security can't keep them out. But you keep guns out of here. I want to be able to defend myself with a gun. You may use a chair. One of you may use a pencil. I want to use a gun. Texas allows me to use a gun. Even in here, the only thing that's stopping me from using a gun to defend myself or you is you. And it's just not right. Now, I'll digress here, and let me talk about Dr. Rowland. Dr. Rowland here just about a week ago, did you get served with your lawsuit in Prarie View? That was a rhetorical question, no need to answer. There's a lawsuit filed in Prarie View where Dr. Rowland was the mayor there by a police officer who makes several allegations. Wrongful termination, retaliation, failure to train, supervise, bullying, harassment, hostile work environment, deliberate indifference, bystander liability, defamation, malicious prosecution, abusive process, and emotional distress against the plaintiff, the police officer, and his mother. In the lawsuit, it alleges that Dr. Rowland brought in a person as police chief illegally. I don't know what exactly, they didn't expound on that, but I can only assume that they're talking about not done properly. somehow, but they used the word illegally. And that chief goes to this police officer's mother who was up at council criticizing Dr. Rowland, according to the lawsuit, and tells her to back off or else. This is the police officer's mother. She didn't stop. The officer was subsequently, not too long after, fired. I just heard some employees tonight criticize Dr. Rowland. I like Dr. Rowland. I've said that 100 times. All I'm going to do is say that I strongly warn any official here, Dr. Rowland, council, any official, the police chief, from taking any type of adverse action towards any employee that's up here and speaks their mind. Don't do it. If that is a warning, a serious warning, we're going to find out. People are going to talk, and you can threaten council people and tell them, you better not say anything, and you can enlist this law firm to threaten Councilman Garza, saying that you're going to be charged with a crime if you talk about the complaint that Cardona sent against you, which, by the way, the law firm says that it would identify the people involved in the complaint, but you guys said it was Cardona and Garza. And then you turn around and tell Garza that he can't say it because it might identify who's involved? Give me a break. They want to claim exemptions to the records and not release it because they say it's part of an investigation. That's for criminal investigations, attorney. And you know that. Stop advising the city that they can withhold any investigation. That's criminal investigations. Detection or prosecution of a crime. And confidential information, that's what redactions are for. We want that complaint in Garza. You need to tell us what it's about. Stop being weak.
Thank you. Next we have Catherine McGarity.
My name is Catherine McGarity. I'm at 5126 Borchers. I've never met you, sir, or had the opportunity, so unlike the fellow citizens, I can't say anything bad about you, but I think that speaks for itself because you can't go somewhere and not know my name because I volunteered as much as I can. And not having any recollection or knowing you at all speaks volumes. But the reason I'm here today is because your budget wants to take money from our police. And that's something that is not just affecting me, it doesn't just affect council, it affects the entire city. I was told the other day, why do you have that shirt? Why does it say Kirby Strong on it? And I like to say because that's not a motto that we live by. It's not something that we say, oh, well, in a time of need, we're going to help our neighbor. It's something that we live by. It's something that the council goes by. It's something that our police, fire department, every business tries to make Kirby a better place. We're all trying to propel ourselves forward. For instance, we have our first African-American mayor, female, first female police chief. Why are we going backwards and taking things that our community needs to live and survive? I had, on August 16th, my son almost got ran over by a car passing the school bus with the open lights and everything. We have a 640 call volume right now for the month of August. That's 21 calls per day on average. So that means these officers, who by the way are already short-staffed because people want something because they're not getting paid what other companies provide. And this isn't the first time this has happened. It's not the second time. It's a constant thing. They're always leaving, getting trained, leaving, getting trained, leaving. We have a core group of officers that have not left. Those are the ones who are using your overtime that you want to cut. Those are the ones that are working 12-hour shifts so their partners can go on their vacation that they've earned, that they've worked for. Yet, I've heard that you don't even show up for work. These are people that put on vests, that take bullets for us, that get into shootouts, that run and help us. I had a son be airlifted from Kirby, and it wasn't 5 minutes, it wasn't 10 minutes. They were there, and the dispatch stayed on the phone. What you fail to realize is it's not just the police department you're taking money from. There's other people behind them. You know, we have our animal control, we have dispatch. Those people, they live by that motto. They don't hang up until someone's there to help you. I had the dispatcher when my son was airflown. The minute my son was taken from my my house, flown by helicopter, stayed with me on the phone because I was panicking. They didn't have to do that. Oh, the police are there. You know what, Ms. McGarry, have a good day, click. If we take and cut this, we may lose our our police department. And then we're gonna go to, you know, hopefully the county will pick it up, but how long are those wait times gonna be? Is that gonna be that 3 minutes, 4 minutes? People can die in seconds. And we're willing to leave our lives, our family members' lives, in the risk of somebody else hoping that someone will come when we need them. And how much is that gonna cost to outsource police to come here to Kirby? Are we gonna go bankrupt? Are we still gonna be Kirby? Can we still be Kirby strong if we don't have a police department? I mean, these are people that are coming from outside neighborhoods that know nothing about us. You want to remove officers. I don't see any officers that haven't, you know, maybe 1 or 2 new faces, but sure, give it some time. They'll get their feet wet, they'll understand, they'll get the training that, you know, our police chief so kindly make sure that they have readily available to them to make them better for our city. You know, the money that you're investing in them, we're gonna invest into their police officers what they're supposed to do, but when they make $5 to $7 less, not even compared to Commerce, because of course I've been told that they're not the same size as us, but it's Balcony Heights, Hill Country, Castle Hills, the same size cities. These are people taking bullets. Don't you want someone, if all these people get mad one day and they decide to storm you, don't you want one of them to have your back? Oh, but you know what, I'm sorry, we cut your budget and now we live on the county and, you know, I've been on the other side of the tracks. We used to live in Sunrise. We moved here to Kirby to better my children, to better their lives, and for that Kirby is strong mentality. Do not ruin it. You said our mission statement is, as Kirby, City of Kirby is dedicated to delivering, can I finish? The City of Kirby is dedicated to delivering an excellent, keep going, go. Okay. Services to our community in a fiscal, responsible manner. I guarantee you, for the pennies on the dollar that our officers work and work their doubles to even make sure that they can put food on their tables, right? Because they're getting $5 to $7 less already. If they leave and we outsource, I'm pretty sure that's gonna cost more than a little raise that they're asking for. And I'm sorry, at the end of the day, when you're having officers work 12-hour shifts, it becomes a liability. And before you even got your position and you want to take it away, our police chief was interim city manager doing exactly what you're doing. And you know you have everybody at you right now. How do you think she feels trying to manage a whole department and your job at the same time? And payroll. When you can do that, let me know.
Word on the street is he still does.
My name is Miss Boyd. I live on Kirby Drive, and I've lived in Kirby for over 60 years. And I'm going to elaborate on something like Grant said. We used to have one cop. He lived across the street where the police department is, if I'm not mistaken, and he would go to bed at 8 o'clock. We could keep our doors open. There was very little crime back then. And like I said, that was a very, very long time ago. The only thing I can say, if you cut police force and fire department, that is part of the reason a lot of the residents moved to Kirby, because the fire and police were within 5 to 10 minutes. Keep that in mind. They were very close. If we lose the fire and police, then we might as well just take Kirby and let Bexar County or San Antonio take us over, because that's what's going to happen. We're not going to have the service that we've had in years. We've already gone downhill. It's tit for tat, tat for tit. This person goes after this person goes after that person. Let me see if I can outdo this one. The city has, I don't even know what word to say, but it's gone downhill. And they're gonna blame it on one person, and this person. And I won't go into what I'd really like to say, but I can have one-to-one conversations. Because not one person is at fault, everybody is. And until they grow up, and I mean everyone, until they grow up, do like we used to do. Go to Friendship Park and have a fist fight. That's how we used to take care of things a long time ago. When we used to go to Golden Stallion. And for y'all that don't know, the Golden Stallion used to be a nightclub on Ackerman Road. It is now that car lot. But like I said last week, there was a town, because they didn't pay the officers, that the whole police force resigned. And that is what's gonna happen if y'all don't take care of the police and the fire department. Thank you.
Next we have Colleen Benavides, okay.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Colleen Benavides. I'm the water clerk here at City of Kirby. It is difficult for me to be up here. I am ashamed and embarrassed because I truly feel this is my only option. I have submitted a formal complaint to you, and I'm telling you I no longer feel comfortable working with the city manager. I am requesting your help as an employee and a human being. Please better our work environment so that we can continue to do the job we were assigned to do. I'm requesting that in the future, we receive better guidance and direction so that we can be successful in doing our jobs. Thank you.
Next we have Mariana Ramirez.
Speak loud.
So I didn't have anything particularly prepared, but I know that y'all are very aware of me, especially right now at the moment. A lot of people here know me as the court clerk and the only person who stayed to work for the administrative department for the city of Kirby. When we had our first mass exodus of sorts, when Monique left, I dubbed it Hurricane Kirby because my office was so full of paperwork that when residents would come in, they'd tell me that it looked like I got hit by a hurricane. And currently, that issue has not been, that pressure has not been relieved off of my shoulders. I am somebody who is passionate for working for the city. I have been offered multiple jobs at multiple courts, multiple law firms, and I have not taken them because I am passionate to work for you. Because I love this city, I love its residents, and even when I was staying at 9 o'clock at night every day, because I was the only employee at City Hall, I would leave this building with a smile. When it was just me in the administrative building, I would stay really late with Chief Cardona. And despite being very scared, because it's my first big girl job, as they say, I still felt as though I was getting a lot of guidance. And even though it was really messy in here and very, and I mean very stressful, I still showed up every single day with a smile to work. And that is something that I am known for. Currently, the state of our administrative department is one in which every single employee is not happy to work here, including myself. And that is frightening, because I am always happy to work wherever I go, and you can ask anybody. Right now, I ask you, council, to please help me. I never bother you guys for anything. On the contrary, I always ask every single person that comes up to me, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Well, today I'm asking you to help me and give me the support that I need. I submitted a formal complaint. That is the first time I have ever done that before. Because someone who scared to be honest with you guys. I'm scared everybody is going to leave and this time it doesn't talk about it. I'm scared that you're going to lose your entire administrative department and your entire police department and lose public works as well. So I am asking you to read my complaint carefully because I have attached all the necessary documents that I need in that complaint. And I am asking you to help me come back to work happy. Because I don't care how heavy the workload is, I will do it. Because I love serving this community. So, that is it.
Megan Wallace.
City manager, I'm making that.
Hello,
You better be
Council,
looking at job
City
applications.
Manager, Dr. Rowland, and citizens. My name is Megan Wallace, formerly Officer Thompson. I can tell you everybody in this room knows who I am. And I would say it would mostly be in a pleasant manner. We are friends, and we talk. We have pleasantries, including you. I've worked for the city of Kirby for 10 years. That is a long time. Other officers, minus one that just left, and that sergeant behind me can say the same thing, that is standing in this room. The reason I am here is I'm upset. I'm overworked, and I'm underpaid. And now I find out that I will no longer be able to see my doctors that I have had half of my life. I am not in the plan. The gentleman who came and spoke promised you guys that all of our doctors were going to be in this network. They are not. I did speak with other employees just to see if their doctors were in the network. Most of them, 90%, are not. This is a problem. I have never tried to leave the city of Kirby. Never. I have been approached many times, not only as being a female officer, being a mental health officer, being able to run the entire evidence room. I can also dispatch. I can do court side. I can do water side. I don't know if there's something I'm missing. I can pretty much do all the jobs in the city, including helping the animal control officer. We have lost dispatchers within the last 2 weeks. Someone is going to have to step up and work it. We have lost officers. We have resignations already in. What are we going to do? I can't work anymore. My husband tells me every day I am not the same person. That hurts me. I give 130% here and give him 0. Why? Because I love the city of Kirby. That's why I haven't left. But I'm looking, y'all give us a 5% increase. That's not even $1, but let's make it $1. At $1, at 40 hours a week, we're gonna cut overtime. Say we're fully staffed. At 40 hours a week for 52 weeks, that is $2,080 more that I would make. This new insurance deductible is $5,000. That's not even half of it. You will not pay me half of it. And another thing that is upsetting is I have medications I have to take. Some people here who I speak a little bit more personally to who are in this room, I'm gonna put it out there. I struggle to get pregnant. I tried 3 years. I have a doctor that I need to see. I've been pregnant twice now, but I've lost him. This year. You're not gonna tell me that I have to leave that. Or I have to now pay extra to go and see her. How is that fair to me? Your loyal employee, 10-year loyal employee. How? Why did y'all not look at the paperwork? Why? Why would you vote on something and sign something that you haven't read? I wouldn't. You wouldn't sign your car or your house note or some sort of your insurance plan, I would hope, without looking over that paperwork. And the last thing that I want to say is there are two facts within this city. And the facts are the employees for the city of Kirby are capable of finding other jobs. There is the second fact is the city of Kirby is incapable of hiring new employees. So please, if you can, for me and everybody, all the other faces and all the employees and citizens who are watching this, who is going to lose the faces that they know, do something. Give us more money. Give us our benefits back.
Just so y'all know, she's one of the good ones.
And we have at the bottom, it says letter from citizen. Oh.
I volunteered to read it tonight before. This is from Miss Christina Alder in reference to the 31st August City Council meeting. I'll be watching the ground, so I cannot attend this very important council meeting. I'm sending this email to the city secretary, letter to be read for me. I'm sending a copy to my daughter, Catherine McGarity, should she opt to be my representative. Our voices need to be heard. All the budget line items are important, from sending our council members to training and development conferences to economic development of the city of Kirby. Everything is needed, everything is fine. But our finest our finest protects our city, our children, and our elderly. Cutting back on the KPD and KFD EMS is not wise, as we are a gateway city to from San Antonio. Recent events demonstrate how accessible Kirby is to the traffic along FM78. From dumped animals to traffic issues and higher assault and crimes. Rather than decreasing our police and emergency services budget, there should be pay raises and additional training and resource development for our first responders. As a former military wife, I encouraged my husband to attend an event he was offered for his personal growth and advancement. I recommend the same for every employee of the city of Kirby. As our city needs the best and brightest and most committed people available for solid community growth, the city of Kirby needs retention. The only way we will have that dedication is for our employees to be educated and appreciated. To this end, I'm asking for a review and recommendation for adjustment for all line items related to our KFD and KFD and EMS. When the wheels roll, it is our first responders whose lives are on the line. Thank you for your time and attention. Christina Alga, Senior Citizen, City of Kirby.
Can I speak to you, please? My name is David Barbosa. I live at 2402 Roseville. First of all, I want to thank the chief, the police department, dispatchers, everybody in the police department for doing such a good job. I worked law enforcement for 15 years. I know what it is to work mandatory 12-hour shifts, and it's not fun. I can tell you that. And let me tell you one thing, city manager. I understand when you took this job, you had to make a decision where you wanted to live. You wanted to live somewhere where it was safe for you and your family, but I did not see you running to look for a house here in Kirby, because it's not safe, thanks to you. And I don't blame you for not living in Kirby, because you're thinking about yourself and you're not thinking about the residents of Kirby. But you want to slap them in the face with a 2% raise, and you take them from departments to give them to others. Why don't you take away from your salary? I've never heard that before. And second of all, I'm sick and tired of Mr. Grant coming over here talking about a zipper machine. He sat in that seat for 20 years and never came up with being able to solve the problem that we have with our streets. They didn't find the best solution, but they found a solution. A solution is better than no solution. He did it for 20 years and never could come up with a solution for our streets, and you know what? He still hasn't. And he never will. Why? Because his concern was never for the city of Kirby either. Thank you.
Hey, y'all know I don't play that. We're gonna stop. Both of you.
Okay.
First warning, okay?
All right.
All right. Okay, now we're moving to.
Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to move item eight, next. So we gotta wait. You're gonna go to six A, right? I'd like to move 8A.
Oh, you want 8A? Okay. Yes. Okay, is everybody okay with moving 8A before 6A? Yes. Everybody good? All right, so we are going to move 8A, discussion and possible action to appoint crime control and prevention district committee members. Did you get that? Do you want to send it to me? Can we, if y'all mind, need a recess for like 5 minutes to get another application to add to this? Y'all mind, is that okay? All right, I see, okay, 10 minutes, be back at 8:20, okay?
Fire Roland. Fire his ass. Prarie View.
Mr. White?
The meeting is, Mayor?
There's no meeting.
Mayor,
right
with all due
now.
respect, Mayor, the meeting is not on right now.
There's no meeting right now.
You have no authority to censor language right now.
There's no meeting right now.
Yes. There is no public meeting right now.
Fire his ass.
Attorney, there's no public meeting right now.
He's a criminal. That's why he's being.
No authority.
Being sued. For mistreating employees.
It's not even disrupting a meeting. The meeting's not going on.
Exactly.
It's free speech. It's free speech. Y'all been doing a great job with the free speech. Please continue to do so.
There is not a meeting going. So, like, why am I being censored? That's what he's being sued for. It's mistreating employees.
I ain't trying to escape nothing, but they don't have to let you use their mic, so bring your own mic next time. Megaphone.
Well, that's why.
I'm just fucking around. I'm just playing.
Yeah. What's going on?
Who told me not to throw a knife? Who was it?
I think it was him.
Who was it? No, it wasn't you.
Yeah, it was.
You said don't throw a knife? No.
Who is it?
Was that you that said don't throw a knife? Huh? Was that you that said that? Were you joking?
Well, you said you throw a knife.
But were you joking?
I don't know. Well,
God damn it. Man up and just say, no, I wasn't, or yes, I was.
Well, I don't want you to throw a knife because I'll throw it back.
No, a closed knife.
You didn't say closed knife.
No.
You said throw a knife.
What I said was like,
Hold on,
here's a
hold on,
knife.
no. I know what you said.
Maybe a
I didn't
misunderstanding.
No, there's no misunderstanding. You didn't missay anything. You said I would throw a knife at you. You didn't say I would throw a closed knife at you.
All right, so I wasn't.
Restate.
So I wasn't clear. I wasn't clear. What I meant to, what I was trying to say
You were
was I
very
got
clear.
three
You were
knives.
Very clear.
What
You said you were very clear. You said I will throw a knife. Well, I was a pitcher for 20 years, and I can hit a strike zone. Hold on, I can hit a strike zone.
Sometimes I don't say exactly what I mean.
I would throw closed knives. You could say I can handle
But-
a knife.
No. Hell no. I ain't got time to be handing it to you. If there was a deadly force situation in here, I ain't got time to be
Not
handing
only that,
anything.
most people that have a
It
knife.
would be a closed
when
knife,
you-
and I'd be like,
I
throw
didn't
it.
say that, but most people that they open knife, they cut themselves because they don't have a flipper knife, or that's the wrong knife, or they cut their fingers.
All right, man.
You know, but anyways, what you said.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
You should have said.
I wasn't clear on whether the knife was open or closed.
We should not throw a knife.
Don't throw a
at
knife.
you. That's defeating the purpose. What happens if it sticks? How are they going to use it, Jack?
I blame it on the criminal. Blame it on the criminal.
Wait, Jack. You should throw it at the criminal, not at someone to use. You waste those seconds. You know that.
I'm running out the door.
You're going to be behind me.
with knife in hand, I'm running out the door. That knife is going to ensure, hopefully, that I can at least make it out the door into my truck, so I can grab big guns. Right? Oh, good job, good job, good job, good job. I gotta go smoke, man. Excuse me. I'm live, so keep your clothes on. All right. All right, guys, we're taking a break, so I'm gonna set this up. Basically, just watching nothing, I guess. I don't know. We're gonna keep it right here because if anything happens, it's gonna be right around here. And right now, there's no light. There's no light right now, but hold on, guys.
Two of them put in a complaint.
You're live. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I understand that there's several city employees that have put in complaints with the city. They told me tonight, the employees. I think they mentioned at the when they were talking, they mentioned that they had put in a complaint. I need to go get a cigarette out of my car. So maybe
I got one. Here. Here.
You guys got a different job in this store?
Go, Roger. You know how I am.
Yeah.
I honestly was.
Yeah. I was going to tell you, we had two King Forces there right over. They were the names. Wow.
No, I just felt I had to get up and say something.
Like what I said?
Okay, but then somebody else told me that they appointed committee outside, or they did.
It doesn't matter if I'm protected, anything I mean, I was, I kept putting that stuff on the agenda.
Oh, right. I'm one of those people. No, that didn't even. So yeah, I believe
There's not much you can do to prepare or take, whatever. This is the only. I get to it. It's not. But I've been bringing it back on the agenda over and over. It just doesn't go in.
I don't know what he was. I figured you were at the top.
cents to save $100 for like 4 more calories. People really I mean, I knew there was going to be some.
I watched you. Jack, we need to talk.
Like right this instant, or can you wait later? Hey, Dave. Debbie. Debbie. Right this instant, or can I wait till later?
Later. Hey, Pedro, do you remember the other day when you said
Okay,
the way
all right.
then about when I bought that scratch off? Mm-hmm. I won.
Sorry guys, we're still on break and there's no lighting out here yet. The lights do turn on, but right now they're not on, so sorry for the darkness.
That guy from Via?
Yeah, the older man. Yeah, the black man with the big truck.
No. He drives a Via Plus. He comes in there with that, it's kind of a, I don't know, gold, greenish, like, truck.
Yeah,
really nice.
the older black guy, the tall black guy.
Yeah, but he's,
Yeah, he
but,
works for me.
Man,
He spends money. He'll be there for 45 minutes. Yeah, he'll be there.
Oh,
and I thought the same thing you're thinking right now. I was like,
if I had it, I'm sorry.
Via pays that damn well?
Yeah,
because he's in there 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, and he actually only works part-time. He only works, I think he said,
Well, he must be retired. He must have retirement from too.
Well, he's what he called retired.
Okay. So he's got probably VA benefits, his retirement, so forth.
Well, just like our mailman. I was talking to him the other day.
Hi.
You leaving?
Yeah, to go home to my babies.
Careful.
I will. Take care.
Nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you. You take care of yourself, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Don't hit anyone else and hurt your arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially that, so.
She's the tough
Peace out.
one.
What?
So she's the tough one.
Oh, she is. Yeah, you don't get her on her bad side. She'll take you out. You guys be safe. Take care.
Yeah, it's still live.
Well, actually,
I better go in because it takes me like an hour to get through security. I got like 3 knives on me, and oh, you know what? I didn't bring it. Oh, I only brought out 2 knives. So, anyway. Yeah, let me open the door.
You're going off, so since you went out, you have more all Okay, go ahead. You're good, Jeff.
Can I go back to the and see your puppy?
I'll switch.
What is going on here?
right there.
You ain't getting
it the man. Go do that. I'm still trying myself to get here. Oh, that's, I think, a Clowncil lady.
Yeah, what is that? I don't know.
That's very fighting.
No, I fell on the concrete. And my handle myself, and there it was.
Broke his wrist or your forearm?
Well, it was the ribs, the thumb, and the distal front.
Oh, wow.
So, when the sweater was
Keep in
Discussion and possible action to appoint crime control.
The meeting has started. The meeting has started.
The meeting
We
started.
have, applications in front of us. Right now, currently, they do not have a quorum. They only have 3 members. If we do not vote on any of these applications tonight to put a member in there, they will be able to have, which that means there will be no money. Dr. Rowland?
Council, this is for you again. Last city meeting, we did not vote to those 2 members. There are 2 members whose membership on that committee expired, I guess, this week. And so that board needs to adopt a proposed budget for 2023-2024. And so they need a quorum to vote on that proposed budget that has already come back to you. So we're just formally doing a component unit of the city of Kirby, but they need to have a full quorum. So the members that you vote on tonight will then go to the meeting that is posted, will then show up, be sworn in for that meeting on September 6th, which would then, they would vote on officers, vote on proposed budget, and move forward.
Councilmember Garza?
I just have a question. How many members do we need to actually put on the crime control committee to have a quorum? 1 or 2?
Vice President Eklund, he's the crime committee.
Okay, right now, our normal board would be 7 members. We have 3 members on it right now. And I'm doing the okay, so we need 7 members to complete the board. We have 3 members right now. And so that would be 4 more to complete that, but we would just need at least 1 more to where we would have a quorum on the thing. And so right now too, I mean, I'm asking for the council because it's up to y'all, because we cannot actually, I mean, I've been campaigning to try to get us some members and stuff, and talked to a lot of people, and I know y'all have some applications. And so, and one of them, I still have a question on, whether she's even been considered on that, and that would be Jessica Sanchez. I know at the last meeting, I was told no, right off the bat, due to the nepotism on the thing. I know Mr. Grant was up here a little while ago, addressed the nepotism. I did a lot of research on it, and it does not fall under that at all. And as far as, me being told that it might have to do with nepotism, totally wrong, totally wrong. Nepotism was brought up at a meeting on June the 22nd. It was said that we couldn't, that it might be nepotism, we need to check on stuff. I know the mayor
asked the attorney if it fall under that. She said, I can't, I would have to do some more review. The council was told, we'll do some more review on there. The next meeting came up, nothing on the on the agenda, nothing was discussed. The next meeting came up, nothing was on the agenda, nothing was discussed. The third meeting, nothing on the agenda, nothing was discussed. Finally, on August the 24th, at the city council regular meeting, I said I need board members, and was told immediately, no. It might be nepotism. Jessica Sanchez is the daughter of one of our board members' wife. Not a blood relative. He is not an officer on our board. So I'm confused on what might be considered nepotism on there.
Our city, Dr. Rowland.
Just for council's pleasure, just so you know, the Crime Prevention Control Unit is a component unit, which is a taxing unit. 0.025 goes into the Crime Prevention Control. This board has been operating all year, but due to the lack of members, they have not been operating all years. For 2021-22, budgeted $95,000. For 22-23, budgeted was $28,000, and then for the 2022-2023 was $77,000. Actual spent is half of that, which means because this board has not been filled all years, and come September 30th, that money again doesn't roll over. And so we want to also process what that looks like. If we don't approve these members tonight, the process in which needs to happen, a proposed budget being adopted, those members being adopted and voted on officers, that if that doesn't happen before September 30th or September 27th, which is when you all have decided to adopt the proposed budget for 2023, 2024, that account would not, you won't be able to use or spend, the city of Kirby won't be able to use and spend the Crime Prevention and Control District fund.
One moment. Ms. Walton, I see you. One moment. Clarissa, the issue with the nepotism, and especially for this one work, because out of the 5 applications, there's only one that would be, the issue would be about. Do y'all have a ruling on that for the nepotism, or is it because that's why I'm confused. I've been told that it is not, they're not being paid, obviously, it's a volunteer position, they're not being paid. They are not direct bloodline of one of the board members. So how does that apply?
Okay, so first of all, you've asked me to do the analysis for the next meeting. I didn't know the next meeting was going to be today. But regardless, my understanding is we have asked, and I don't know if we've received the policy. There's a policy that's different than the law. And so that's why we need time to analyze. Not because I don't know the nepotism law, but because if you have decided there's a policy about no nepotism on your Crime Prevention District or any other boards, that is how we have to analyze it. We have to analyze the policy as applying the nepotism law. And I don't have that policy, so that's why I don't have an answer.
Okay. First, thank you, sir. Ms. Walden, you want to step up? Caitlin.
Okay, while I was on council, I was asked to write a code of ethics policy, which I did. We passed it around, we spoke about it, we voted on it. The nepotism applies to boards that receive city monies. That would be economic development. If beautification receives anything, that would, and I don't think you did, it would be okay there. Crime control, gets our tax money, therefore nepotism applies. Any board, commission, or committee that receives money, it will also apply to Kirby Senior Center if they get money from the city in one way or another. That is how the policy reads. If it's just a regular old thing, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. But I was asked to do it. Nobody else helped. Susan did help some, and I was appreciative of her. However, once it was passed out and it was read, we spoke about it for a couple of weeks, and then we decided to pass it. So that is how nepotism is to be applied, because there is money involved from the city. Is that, do you understand? Does everybody, any questions? No? Okay.
Jack Miller, you can step up. Okay, and then, I'm sorry, wait a minute, I'm so sorry, I just messed up. Hold on one minute, Mr. Miller. Can we move, everybody agree to allow Mr. Miller to speak?
But I signed up for all agenda items.
Oh, never mind,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. Okay.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, Ms. Walshik does know how to talk up here, mouth close to the mic, so everybody can hear it, and that's great, and I appreciate that. We need to be paying her $210 an hour, not our city attorney, because she appears to have answers. $210 an hour, not one answer. Why our city attorney doesn't have an answer after so long? Or the policy, I don't know whose fault is that. The onus is on you guys to get her the policy so she can do a proper analysis and give an answer, or, I mean, yeah, so, anyway, on this nepotism thing, I don't understand what's so difficult. We have rules and we have law. And I'm up here saying, you guys, I demand that you follow both at all times. And that includes regarding this whole nepotism thing. We have rules and we have laws. And as long as they are being followed, then there's no problem regardless of what anybody thinks. If I get up here and say, oh, Oni, doesn't matter. What matters is what the law and the rules say. And so that's what you got to follow. And if you're depending on the city attorney, as much as a hard time as I like to give the city attorney, she only has half of the info. How do you guys expect her to give you a proper analysis? I agree on that. But consider the who you're getting advice from. Depend on the city attorney after she has all the information that she needs to make a proper analysis. And then you guys are smart enough to look at the law and look at the rules yourself. And make a decision. And if you have a question about that, you depend on your city manager, you depend on your city attorney, your legal counsel. What you don't depend on is somebody who thinks burning crosses in their yard if you're mad. In case people aren't know what I'm referring to, it's Mr. Grant when he was on council. Citizens who come burn crosses in his yard if they were mad. I understand, I talked about nepotism and having family members on a committee. And I talked about what a clan is, not a K, but a C, a clan of family. So it's no wonder Mr. Grant's cool with having a bunch of family on there, but I digress. The rules and the law are what matters. Just follow them, and it's simple as that. From what I understand, the two ladies that are in question here, they don't live in the same household.
It's one lady.
Right, when you have family members, quote family members, they don't live in the same household. I'll use my family as an example. None of them share my beliefs at all. And they are as anti-Jack as the most anti-Jack person in the city is. And there wouldn't be any problem with me and that person serving on a board, because we're not going to collude together and have the same mentality when making decisions. And that would be ultimately the problem. If you had a whole family and they all believed in one thing, how could they possibly be a properly functioning group of committee making objective decisions. They couldn't, right? And so that's the reason why we don't want nepotism, amongst other things. But I don't see a problem with these two ladies being on the board. I don't think it violates the nepotism law, if that were applicable. And I don't believe it violates our rules. But nevertheless, I'm not the person to depend on, right? It would be you guys. So just make sure you follow the laws and follow the rules. I was going to put in an application to be on crowd control, and I'm having a conflict with my schedule, allowing me to function, be there as much as a person should be. So again, I'll check and see if there's still positions open, and I'll put one in. And just remember, follow the rules and follow the laws at all times. Thank you.
One moment, Mr.
Go ahead.
Y'all okay with Mr. Grant's question? Okay, step up.
Okay, folks, Mike Grant. And again, as Mr. Lewis said, we follow the law. Well, this was generated by TML. Period. Plain and simple, bottom line. And yes, the nepotism law applies to paid positions only, meaning the individual, not the group. Nobody, no volunteer in this city gets paid to be a volunteer, do they? Does anybody? Y'all get paid? No, you don't. You get a stipend for expenses, just like any other volunteer does. Okay? That's why when Faulkner set up there, when the Pearson set up there, it was not nepotism. When JD and his son set up there, it was not nepotism. I'm not finished, sir. You can have it when I get finished. My turn. But anyway, it was not nepotism then, it never will be. But the point of it is, that this is state law, and you can go look it up. It gives reference to everything in here that I gave you all. Everything gives you the state law for reference. This is not just, this was generated by general counsel from TML. Plain and simple. If you don't get paid, a volunteer can be on a committee, say the gardening people, and they go out and spend money on seed, and the city reimburses them for the seed. They're not getting paid, they're just getting what they spent. There's no monies to be paid to a volunteer. And I don't care what you write, that thing that was written, a bunch of 5-year-olds got together. Because you know why? Every time that you pass an ordinance, you have to have repercussions for the ordinance. And you folks set up there, not me, and passed what this nice lady wrote, except there's one problem. If you don't sign it, if you don't obey it, what are you gonna do? There's nothing attached to it to answer to. That's like writing a speeding law and not writing a ticket. Show me anywhere where what she wrote has a consequence. Show me, because it's never done. Y'all passed something you can't enforce. Why can you enforce it? Because there's nothing to enforce. You got a piece of paper that says you can't pass notes and talk to each other. What kind of kindergarten class did that come out of? I know why, because some people want to see a piece of paper that was written on. Ain't gonna happen, don't you? You can't take that away. But what I'm saying to you is, what are you gonna do if I don't sign or somebody else refuses to sign? That's it. Pardon me. That's it. Because you have no consequences. There's nothing there. But here, there is. Every one of these, you can look up the law of the state of Texas, and the law backs up what I'm saying. So, you know, whether you put me on or not, you know, I'll live. I hope it won't kill me. I'd like to be on, sure. But the problem is, you're trying to make people do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do. And at the time this was written and passed, and it was trying to enforce, that's called coercion. Okay? Abuse of power. Because it was stated that if you didn't sign this, you couldn't be on the committee. You couldn't be on the board. That was a statement. It is on record, on film. And there's more than one of you that said it. and particularly the one sitting behind me, said, on record, on film, that's coercion, abuse of power. And like I say, the funny thing that I find just so funny, you put no consequences to it. You wrote it out, didn't think about it because you wanted to give the fault marks. Didn't work. And now both their terms are up. One is gone to the school board, and I'm so glad, and the other one's not going to go back. And what's going to happen if you don't put a budget together? Same thing as if the city doesn't put a budget together. So about $95,000 is going right down the drain. That needs to be spent on our police department and fire department. So, you guys do what you think is right. But like I say, I'm not signing it, so if you don't want to put me on for not signing it, oh well, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Martin.
Yes, Mr. Grant was right about all these couples being on, they were all city councilmen, they were all elected. They wasn't appointed, the Faulkner was the only one that was appointed. Mr. Dan Santee, the city attorney, told me last year, it is nepotism, it is against the law because it's a organization that receives funds, monies. He told me, he says, don't take them off. When they come up for re-election, just don't, for renewal, don't put them back. He said, it is nepotism. And they come up with a policy. The policy is, what'd you say, overrule what?
That the city can exceed the law if they want to. So if you have a policy that applies more than what the law says, that's okay. And like I said, I understand that you'll have that policy, but I haven't seen it. That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay, so.
It was approved.
Okay.
It was approved by our attorneys.
Okay, so we have 5 applications, by the way. I just want to say, everybody, hold on one moment. Because this is going to be a debate back and forth, okay? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're actually, she's stapled them together, they should be separate. There's 5. Again, 5 people to choose from. Not one person, not 2 people, there's 5, okay? Well, look, okay, well, you know, if that's what you choose, then you're right, okay, 4. So, we have these people, Dr. Rogan, you need.
I was gonna say, you can choose this, you have 3, you can choose 4, which would be 7. And if you would like to select one as an, alternate, as an alternate, but I just wanna be very clear. Half the money of this board, because of the same debate, has gone unspent all year.
Okay, so our 4 right here. Do we need to take a recess so you can review and we can choose someone? Would that be more appropriate, y'all? What do y'all want to do? Because the thing is, just, okay, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, but we need to get it done, and
Yeah.
I only have a problem with one of them.
Okay, well, if you don't want that one, then you put that one to the side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
then, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had a question. I thought last meeting we had said, or someone had mentioned that Mr. Rodriguez had pulled his.
Yes, that's not supposed to be in there. Yes. Pull
Okay.
Gilbert Rodriguez out. No, so, okay, well, once you pull that, right, we'll only have, wait, 1, no. We actually have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 left. If we take, Sanchez out, we have 4. That's it, one, no. So they're declared, that's what it is.
In alphabetical order is Fire, Mayor, Grant, Corporation, Sanchez.
Yes. Did y'all hear that? Okay. All right. So, again, you want to make sure that, I suggest that we make sure we, because they do need to get this done. So, y'all need time to review? Or how do you, yes, go ahead.
I just want to say, I mean, we did receive a lot of these when we sat down, so I mean, nobody's been properly vetted or checked into. You know, I do know a few of these people, but, you know, I mean, I don't know if everybody else does. I don't know if that means that we should, you know, have time, but even if that's the case, really it's just gonna come down to, you know, 5 minutes to look at it, so I mean, I don't know how everybody feels about voting on a whole bunch of people that may not know.
But y'all, I mean, because the thing is, they have 3 right now. So even if it's a compromise, if somebody wanted to make a motion, because there were separate motions for people. If we make a motion for 2, that would fill the board, and then y'all have time to decide with the rest.
Or even if that was, we made a motion for 2, and then what we do is let that go back to their board.
And let them vet the rest.
And let them vet it.
I have no problem with that. So everybody okay? We'll do 2 just so they can meet and do the budget. Is that good? Okay, so somebody needs,
I wanted to say something real quick.
okay, go ahead and step up.
I signed up for all of these.
Right.
Okay, real quick, this has been being put on the back burner for only this gentleman would be able to tell us. But next week is a regular meeting, right? So why do we need to do this right this second? How about we have an answer by next meeting? Or we could always take over like we did the senior center. And we can call it the Kirby Senior Crime Control Council. And we got everything covered, do it all in one night, twice a month. Good to go. Oh, and did I mention fire him?
Yeah, that's what I was
Well,
saying.
they're gonna call a special meeting once
Once this is-
once this is done, so he can get his budget
I
going.
think we should allow them to read this.
Who was first? Because everybody has their hands up. Nobody else wants to speak? Miss Jackie, you want to come up? Is y'all okay with her speaking?
Yes. Thank you. I just wanted to ask a question. For 2 weeks, I have been coming to City Hall to get an application, actually to apply to be on the crime control. No application. Period. I finally picked one up yesterday, and I filled it out, and my question is, sounds like you're already gonna decide, so do I turn in that application or not?
Well, I know there was, I don't maybe look in the wrong slot, but I know there was.
No, because I
Okay,
asked.
let's not go, no back and forth. We're just
Okay.
gonna let them speak and then y'all speak.
Is that legal advice? Jesus Christ. You're not in charge, Americans. Stop interrupting citizens.
I asked the girl at the counter, is there any applications? She said, her answer was no. Well, she didn't offer to make any, so my question is, finally I picked one up yesterday, but she had to go to the back and get one, I believe, from the city secretary that had them. So, my question is, do I turn in an application or not?
Do you have the application with you?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
No.
you turn it in.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we'll, go ahead.
I believe this is why this is the best deal. We decided to, you know, put a couple on, so to give everybody the opportunity to put in applications that wanted to put applications, regardless, at least to give them some more time. And again, and then we'll go to crime control, we'll figure it out, push back to us, and then we would deal with it that way.
Okay.
Yes, I think we need to put one on, so they have a form, and then let them go through the process.
Wait, let me. And so I say 2. I think 2 just in case, because we don't want all of a sudden somebody drop out and then we have the same place next week. So,
Let them
okay.
Go through the process.
Right, that's a good deal. Okay, so we have the 4, we have, supposedly we're doing Bear, Grant, Hope, and Rich. Each has to make a motion for, one by themselves. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Mayor, I make a motion that we accept John Risa on Case Drive, just for, just so people know.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion on the table to accept John Rich to the Crime Control Board. First by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Councilmember Martin. Secretary, please call roll.
Mayor Pro Tem Apadaka?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina? Mayor McGregor?
Yes. Okay, so it passes. Mr. Rich, welcome to the Crime Control Board. Okay. And then,
Make a motion that we, Mike Grant.
Second.
okay, we have a motion on the table. Okay, we have a motion on the table to accept Mike Grant to the Crime Control Board. First by Councilmember Hitt, seconded by Councilmember Apadaka. I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem Apadaka. Secretary, please call roll.
Mayor Pro Tem Apadaka?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
No.
Councilmember Hitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
No.
Councilmember Molina? Mayor McGregor?
No. So it still passes, right? Wait. Did it pass? I don't know, I'm not gonna count.
Yes.
It was a tie?
It was a tie.
Okay, all right.
So we make another one?
Yes.
Mayor, I make a motion to accept Jessica Coates.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion on the table to accept Jessica Pope to the Crime Committee Board. First, we have Councilmember Martin, seconded by Councilmember Garza. Please, Secretary, please call roll.
Mayor Pro Tem Apadaka?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina? Mayor McGregor?
Yes. Okay, welcome Jessica Passage, Jessica Pope, welcome to the Crime Committee Board. All the other applications, they will go to the Crime Committee Board. Even the ones that the tie or whatever, all that can go back to the Crime Committee, and then y'all can settle that there, okay? All right. So just make sure that, obviously you'll send out to get the information for the budget special meeting for y'all.
On the next one, I'd like to move 8C in with 868.
Oh, with 6A, yes, yes, you're right. Thank you. That is correct. Okay, so we're gonna go back up. All right, so we're going back to 6A, discussion regarding terms related to the city manager's contract, which will be combined because supplements supporting documents. 6A, discussion regarding, I'm sorry, 8A.
8C.
Oh, 8C. Okay. 6A, discussion regarding term related to city manager's contract, and 6C, discussion regarding the city, I'm sorry, 8C, discussion regarding the City of Kirby employee handbook. The executive session, the city council will convene in closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, section 551.074, personnel to deliberate matters associated with the city manager employment agreements. The regular meeting closes at 8:59.
It's
contract is void. His contract is void. Clown. That contract is void due to improprieties. This clown right here. I told you, fuck with me on my light your ass up. Boy, that contract sent him on his way. Well, he voided that contract by having it fraudulently signed.
I turned it in as a matter of fact.
I know, I have it. So can you set up an appointment with her to go somewhere with her? Go for it, go for it. Then we'll go another way. Ya, ya, por eso estaba bueno también. Déjame hablar.
I don't know what you want to do with that, but
You're on.
Okay, just leave it in there, pointing in the direction of the audience.
Where's Henry?
I don't know where he went.
Did he leave? Okay.
Excuse me, ladies. Excuse me. I got it, Chief. You're good. Thank you, sir. Ooh-wee. Private conversation real quick, y'all. Be right back.